Hi, friends. If you're anything like me, you're always looking for new approaches, new ideas, new sounds to incorporate into your musical language. Thought do a bit of a different video today by sharing a bit of the process that I go through to mine into some musical areas to find some nuggets that I can use and build into my vocabulary. So I thought I'd share that. And I apologize up front. I don't have great lighting. Hopefully you can see the whiteboard okay. But I wanted to spend a little time talking about the Messiaen mode. I just started exploring this a couple days ago, and I thought I'd share at least the process that I went through in hopes that even if you don't get any nuggets from this particular mode, you can take this idea and incorporate it in another way to get you on your own journey. So Oliver Messiaen, French composer, mostly in the contemporary classical vein, came up with this concept of what we now call the Messiaen modes of limited transposition. There's a lot of great material on it on YouTube. I found one very good resource that I'll link in the description in case you want to check it out, which includes some short videos by the great guitarist Nelson Veras talking about his use of the modes, and this one in particular, although I think he misspeaks or gets the names between 4 and 6 confused a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. He's a master of the contents of these modes. So this is the mode, this is the structure here: half step, minor third, half step, minor third, half step. So just back up a step. So these Messiaen modes are all symmetrical. There's some symmetry to them, and a lot of jazz improvisers have taken, even though it's derived from a more of a classical composer, being Oliver Messiaen. A lot of improvisers have taken these ideas and incorporated them into their language. So following this structure, and if we started on the note C, we would get these pitches. And typically we'd have this symmetry here moved up a tritone, C up to F sharp, followed by this same structure. So half step, minor third, and then move up a tritone and do the same thing. So you get this. And if we continue, whoop, so, and at first glance, you might say, well, this is weird. What can possibly be used here? Multiple semitones in a row. What can we do with this? And that was part of my mining, right? I'm mining this particular mode to see what can I take from this. So this is the process. I wanted to share the process that I would go through to see what can I take from this thing. So one of the first things I would do in this case, or I have done, is build chords, build triads and seventh chords from these notes to see what is the vocabulary here. So I'm not going to bore you with taking you through the whole thing. So I'm going to edit the video and just come back where it's basically done. So here are all the chords that are contained within this scale. All the different B chords, the C chords, the D flats, the Ds, and so on. Notice the symmetry here. If you look at the ones that are in green compared to the ones that are in red, these are the same. B diminished, F diminished, just a tritone apart. So there's a lot of symmetry in this scale. And how can we use this? Well, I personally don't think just improvising with this scale over these chords are necessarily going to give you great music. Let's see what we mean by that. I'll pick one chord, a B minor, and I'll hold it with my freeze pedal and improvise a little with the scale, just thinking scalar, stepwise. Okay, if it doesn't sound that great, right? But if we land on these target notes, or we have things like enclosures, right? These chromatic enclosures around the fifth, we get that sound. So there's some stuff in there that's like, okay, that's a possibility. But what about the symmetry? What about this idea of playing in and out? So again, a tritone away, I have the same chord, B minor, and a tritone away to F minor. So if I'm going to hold my B minor chord, but I'm going to play a B minor triad, and then an F minor triad, and then a B minor triad, and then an F minor triad. Now we have some pretty interesting sound. Or descending. I didn't play that right. So this is B minor, F minor, B minor, F minor sound, resolving to the B, or a B flat minor 6. So some pretty interesting sounds there. Look at some of these others. D flat major 7 and G major 7, a tritone apart. Well, what if I play B minor as my pedal, but play a G major triad, D flat major triad, G major, D flat. Right, that's an interesting sound. Or G major 7, D flat major 7. So interesting, right? It's crunchy for sure, but that was going back to the ear bit. Sometimes we need to train our ears to hear some of these crunchy sounds, and the symmetry can give it some cohesion that might not sound necessarily like just random pitches, but there's some cohesion because of the symmetry. So thought that was worth noting. A couple other things that I find really interesting are the sus chords. C sus4, D flat sus4, same thing up a half step. F sharp sus4, G sus4. So we got 4 sus chords in the scale. So, if I go back to my B minor, I'm just choosing B minor just randomly, and play like a F sharp sus, G sus, and then maybe the descending F sharp, G sus, back to F. So again, F sharp sus, G sus, F sharp. There's a F sharp sus again, and G sus. So we can get some interesting melodic stuff here. So that's a thought. Or what if we took a sus chord like F sharp and played its different inversions. So these are different inversions of F sharp sus. So F sharp root position, F sharp first inversion, F sharp sus second inversion. But then we played all of these in the different, using some voice leading. So I'm going to play F sharp to G, and then C to D flat. So F sharp sus to G sus, C sus to D flat sus, and then repeat. Next inversion. F sharp to G sus, C to D flat sus, F sharp sus to G sus, C to D flat. So I'm going to just create just a vamp on F sharp, this kind of thing, and play some of these harmonies. So again, it's all in there. I'm not playing everything from the scale, but pieces, these nuggets, mining for music, right? What's in here that can be useful? So there's a few things that I thought were pretty cool. Another is, if we look at these tritones, B to F, C to F sharp, D flat to G, D to A flat. 4 tritones chromatically. That's pretty interesting. So we can see we've got some dominant chords like D flat 7 and G7, A flat 7 flat 5 and D7 flat 5. This reminds me of Monk's music. So I happen to be in the middle of rehearsing for some upcoming gigs featuring a lot of music by Thelonious Monk, and his music's filled with these tritone substitutions, particularly this tune Skippy, which is pretty quick. But take a look at especially this section here, these descending dominant chords. Well, this looks like a pretty good application for playing over that kind of a thing. So these were just some ideas I thought of ways that I work through trying to find some musical things within something that doesn't appear at first glance to be all that musical. But if you dig deep enough and mine deep enough, you find some nuggets in there. So hopefully this is, if not taking away directly from the Messiaen Mode 4, you can apply this to any even synthetic scale that you create on your own to try to come up with some new ideas. So good luck with your music making.